Hi, I'm Steve Doyle. Tonight on PM Magazine, we'll visit an incredible underground city beneath one of the world's most barren deserts in Australia. Please join us.
Today, there's an automobile battery that delivers at least 15% more cold cranking amps. That's 15% more starting current than the best-selling battery in America. The Excite Edge, more power. The Excite Edge, power when you need it. The Excite Edge, more power to start your car.
Powerful Excite Edge now at these and other participating automotive outlets.
When Washington cuts aid to education, who does that hurt? You, because you pay more in property taxes. When Washington lets energy prices rise, who does that hurt? You, because you pay higher utility bills. When the federal deficit soars, who does that hurt? You, because you can't borrow to buy a home or start a business. The bottom line is, Minnesota's middle class can't afford the policies coming from Washington today. We need a new senator with the independence to fight those policies and help us. We need Mark Dayton.
Look how water can destroy unprotected wood, but not if it's protected with Thompson's Water Seal. Use Thompson's Water Seal waterproofer on dozens of surfaces. Brush on Thompson's for an invisible barrier that helps prevent water from entering and damaging brick, wood, and concrete. Your house isn't really protected until it's protected with Thompson's Water Seal.
Participating hardware, Hank. Participating our own hardware.
WCCO Television, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Tonight on PM Magazine, we'll visit an amazing underground city beneath one of the world's most barren deserts in Australia.
People who are independent, looking for a little bit of freedom.
Then we'll discover the secrets of a superstar house cleaner. His cleaning tips can save you money and make house chores a snap.
Hi, I'm Maria Shriver, and tonight I'm going to show you how they make those coming attractions that you see at the movies.
And in our PM's America segment, I'll show you a man who makes music using live trees as instruments.
Hello, I'm Pat Brown.
And I'm Steve Doyle. Tonight we're at Williamson, an underground hall at the University of Minnesota. We have an underground theme on tonight's Tuesday PM Magazine.
It's going to be a good show. Please stay with us.
This underground building here at the University of Minnesota is both practical and economical in terms of fuel. But tonight we're going to take you to a place where underground housing is absolutely vital to survival. It's in the Australian outback, where the summertime temperatures can range as high as 150 degrees. There are no trees, very little water, and to survive, the people have moved their homes, their churches, and even their pool halls underground. Tonight, PM Magazine's Tim White visits the land down under to meet these fascinating people and to look at their extraordinary lifestyle.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and Father Noonan, the local Catholic priest, is preparing to say Mass. Across town, Ann Johnson, a school teacher, makes her morning tea before heading off to work. And at the neighborhood pool hall, a lively game is already underway. Pretty normal? Not really. You see, these people live in one of the most unusual cities in the world, Coober, Pedy, an opal mining town in the outback of Australia. A town that literally grew up in a mine shaft. In fact, Coober, Pedy is Aborigine for white man in a hole.
As we prepare to celebrate the mystery of Christ's love,
Father Noonan's church, for example, was an old mine shaft that was meticulously cut into the shape of a cross over 50 years ago. And Ann's home is typical of the area, a 5-room house cut from stone. And this pool hall is connected to an entire labyrinth where over $1 million worth of opals were found. But why? Why would an entire city of 3,000 choose to live underground? The answer to that lies just a few feet above our heads. For nearly a century now, men have been coming to Coober, Pedy in search of the elusive opal. In fact, 80% of the world's opals came from these fields. A miner, if he was lucky, could make millions. But first, he had to learn to survive in one of the most desolate and isolated regions in the world. In midsummer, these fields become a blast furnace. the temperature can rise to an incredible 130 degrees, and there's no shade. There are no trees or streams, nothing.
It's really terrible weather in summertime here, because it'll get up to 130, 140. It's been known to get up to 150 even, and that's pretty bad. You don't want to be upstairs when that happens. You want to be downstairs under the ground. If you're in a house or a building on top of the ground, the air conditioners just really don't hold up to it, and sometimes even the power goes off in the town because it's so overloaded. So then you've got nothing in a house, if you can imagine that. And in the winter here, we get pretty cold winds. But if you're underground, you get none of that. The temperature only varies by, usually around 10, 15 degrees.
Ann Johnson is one of a handful of Americans who live in Coober, Pedy. She came here 8 years ago when she was 39 years old, looking for adventure. Today, she lives comfortably underground with her partner in life, Joe, an opal miner from Yugoslavia.
Documentary, The Lost Pharaoh.
For Joe and Ann, life is not as rough as you might think. In their digs, they have most of the amenities, color TV and radio, built-in kitchen and running water. And because the walls are solid rock, they have almost no dust or noise. The one thing Ann does miss, however, is the fertile soil and greenery of her native Oregon.
In Oregon, I could grow lots of different kinds of plants and have a beautiful vegetable garden. And we had to struggle pretty hard here. To plant a tree, you have to get a drill in and drill a big hole about 10 feet deep. You take all that dirt out, and then you go out in the bush for 3 or 4 miles away, and you carry in some dirt, and you put that in the hole. And then you go out to one of the farms and get some manure, and you put that in. So it's a tremendous project. You don't just dig a hole and stick a tree in it. Then you have to water it, and water is very expensive here. So generally you put your wastewater on the trees.
For Ann, it's not just the terrain and living conditions that are foreign. At school, where she teaches, many of the youngsters don't speak English. They are the sons and daughters of Eastern Europeans, immigrants who made their way here to find their fortunes.
Their English may not be terribly good. Their educational background is fairly minimal, and they may not have had training in many areas. And so they come to Coober, Pedy because they've reckoned that they've got a chance to strike it big, and it may be the only chance that they'd ever have in their lives. And this may be the only place where that's really possible, because finding opal isn't based on having a lot of tremendous skills. It's a lot of luck, and the whole thing is a big gamble.
Opal miner keeping a Pedy, only one thing. It's a free people. Free for anybody else. You like the drinks, you like the works. Yeah, nobody bug you. What do you find that you can sell? It's cash. Everything is cash.
For Joe, freedom is what it's all about. Whatever treasure he finds is his, but the rewards are not without danger and sacrifice. That mine shaft drops straight down 80 feet, and on the opal field, accidents, cave-ins, or claim jumpers are a constant threat. I asked Father Noonan, what kind of people live here?
I think basically people with a bit of a pioneering spirit, people who are independent, looking for a little bit of freedom. A lot of the migrants, particularly, I think, look for that freedom. Most of them coming from perhaps Iron Curtain countries and Eastern European countries, where they don't get that personal freedom. They came from all over the world to search for their tiny bits of shimmering stone. And in doing so, created a city, a way of life, a pioneering spirit that most of us thought was dead. But that spirit is alive in the rugged outback of Australia, in a town called Coober, Pedy, a town that grew up in a mine shaft.
Those Those raw opals are worth up to an incredible $12,000 per ounce. And a few years ago, some miners found a 150-ounce stone that's now part of the British Crown Jewels.
Next up, we'll meet Hollywood's king of coming attractions and discover the fascinating way he makes trailers for big-budget movies.
Then, I'll show you a man who makes trees sing.
You want something better, yeah, you won't take second best. You want it delicious, for you there's nothing less than Wendy's hot and juicy hamburgers, fresh off the grill. Nothing else will satisfy you like Wendy's will. That's why you're Wendy's kind of people. You want something better, you're Wendy's kind of people.
Apple Crisp lovers, this is for you. It's Kemp's Apple Crisp Ice Cream, another Kemp's limited edition ice cream flavor. Apple chunks and crunchy graham cracker crisp blended with cinnamon and apple flavored ice cream. Real apple crisp goodness, along with creamier, smoother Kemp's ice cream. Kemp's Apple Crisp, a special limited edition ice cream flavor that tastes as good as you think it will.
Before I swing for the bleachers seaties, I get the Edie's for my Wheaties. Before I slam my gorilla donkeys, I get the Edie's for my Wheaties.
The Edie's for Wheaties, that undeniable, irresistible urge for the crispy, crunchy, whole wheat taste of the breakfast of champions.
Before I put on my little cleaties, I get the Edie's for my Wheaties.
Part of your good breakfast.
The political race of Campaign 82 is nearing an end. The issues are important, and now you must make a choice. Monday night at 10:30, WCCO Television News will present special coverage of a statewide Senate debate where major party candidates Dave Durenberger and Mark Dayton will be questioned by Minnesota citizens. Our special hour-long coverage of Debates 82, the Citizens Interview, Monday night at 10:30 on WCCO Television, Channel 4.
Next up, Maria Shriver shows how they make coming attractions for E.T. and the latest movies by Dudley Moore and Dolly Parton.
That's right. And I'm going to show you something you probably haven't seen before, trees that sing.
That sing?
Sing. Watch.
If you're like me, then one of the things you enjoy most about going to the movies is watching the coming attractions. Hi, I'm Maria Shriver, behind the scenes in Hollywood, and tonight I'm going to show you how movie previews are made and how they affect the success of a film.
And now, Steven Spielberg brings us E.T., the Extraterrestrial.
This is just one of the hundreds of trailers created by this man. His name is Andy Keene, and he is the king of Hollywood's coming attractions, perhaps responsible for getting more people into the movies than anyone else.
Oh, I think a lot of people go to the movies because of seeing a good trailer.
It's not exactly a home, but it's the best little whorehouse in Texas.
A trailer is a 2.5 to 3 minute movie commercial that runs in a theater. An abbreviated version runs on television.
All trailers had damn well better be good. Because I think a trailer saves more people $5 if it's not good than might help a picture. How many times have you been in the theater and seen a trailer and say, you know something, I'm not interested in that movie? It is a really charming, sentimental, lovely piece.
Andy's writing staff has just seen the movie 6 weeks. They will try 2 approaches to selling the film. One will write a serious script, the other a funny one. The final script will combine the 2.
In the time that they had, they shared each other's dreams and made every moment count.
A voice track is cut and then matched to the particular scenes the editor has chosen. Just let the story tell itself.
Here, you let the story tell itself.
In the time they had, they lived more, laughed more, and loved more than most people do in a lifetime.
The end result can cost up to $400,000, with the TV time alone running $10 million per film. But as important as all this appears, there are times when Andy is quite aware that he will have no effect on the box office whatsoever.
Every once in a while, when you're given a film to work on, you sit down and you look at it, and you realize that you are looking at a major work of art.
Danger.
And at that point, it doesn't matter.
Such as E.T.
That's right.
The intrusion. The wonderment. The enchantment. The hope. The connection has been made.
As fewer and fewer films are being made, producers are putting a lot of money and thought into promotion. Movie trailer makers are now on the front line of this battle for your box office bucks. Who will be the winner? Stay tuned for coming attractions.
Tonight in PM's America, I'll take you to a concert right here in Minnesota where living trees are the musical instruments. This man is a conductor. His orchestra is his backyard. And his musicians have names like Douglas Fir and Birch Tree. Many musical instruments like violins and guitars begin life as trees. But Professor Leaf Brush of Duluth, his real name, thinks there's a lot of music in a tree already. Professor Brush searches for the natural song in the forest and the breeze. In fact, his woodwinds are literally that. Wind blowing across the wood, producing a kind of music, strange music. To hear the tree's song, the professor's backyard is wired for sound. Microphones strung from tree to tree lead to electronics that greatly amplify the normally silent woods into a cellulose symphony.
I came into the whole sound research thinking that there would be a great deal of difference between tree to tree, but a 60-year-old Douglas Fir sounds a little bit like this birch.
Maybe the professor is onto something. If this becomes popular someday, a whole new branch of music could open up. Instead of hard rock, there would be hard wood. I'm told Professor Brush recently broadcast a concert of his tree music overseas on the radio. I guess there's lots of hardwood music lovers over there.
In just a minute, we'll meet a superstar house cleaner who can free you from the drudgery of housework.
Who could forget fresh, hot Pillsbury chocolate chip cookies?
How many chips were there? Zillions. How do you know? Because me and Mom baked some. Really? You made hot chocolate chip cookies? Real hot. All those chips were melting all over. Then I broke one. And like the chips were everywhere. I can't stand it. Then what? I ate it.
Who wouldn't eat chocolate chip cookies fresh and hot?
And Pillsbury says it best.
Look how water can destroy unprotected wood, but not if it's protected with Thompson's Water Seal. Use Thompson's Water Seal waterproofer on dozens of surfaces. Brush on Thompson's for an invisible barrier that helps prevent water from entering and damaging brick, wood, and concrete. Your house isn't really protected until it's protected with Thompson's Water Seal. Many stores now have special values on Thompson's Water Seal.
The coveted Hubert H. Humphrey Distinguished Service Award, presented to Congressman Arlen Erdahl for outstanding congressional leadership on behalf of rehabilitation programs. Congressman Arlen Erdahl, part of a long Minnesota tradition of service in Washington and at home. Re-elect Arlen Erdahl to Congress. He shares our concerns. He makes our voice heard in Washington.
Does your business need help with meeting production deadlines? If so, call Midwest Special Services of St. Paul, a large subcontracting production plant that employs persons with disabilities who are experts in such areas as paper processing, mechanical assembly, and warehousing. Call Midwest Special Services for economical manpower that does quality work.
Better put them back.
With prices of department store shoes what they are,
Put them back.
if someone could sell those same brand names for less,
Put them back.
they'd be famous. We are. We're Famous Footwear, and we carry the same brand name shoes department stores carry, but at prices that fit you better.
Put them on, guys. We're going to save $20.
Discover the same brand names for less at Famous Footwear. Finally, a shoe store that fits the times.
Sometimes at this time of the day, I'm at home slaving away doing my house cleaning. But now, I have time to come out here and enjoy the sights on the University of Minnesota campus. No, I haven't hired a maid, and my house is just as clean as ever. What I have done is taken the advice of superstar house cleaner Don Aslett. His revolutionary approach to cleaning actually cuts the time you spend by 75% and saves you money, too, as PM Magazine's Lori Ann Crook finds out.
Aslett is often seen carrying a plastic toilet bowl or strapping a squeegee to his leg, six-shooter style. What else would you expect from a man who's earned nicknames like King of the Toilet Ring, Fastest Bowl Brush in the West, and Urinal Colonel? He's not crazy. The truth of the matter is, this guy is a genius. At age 47, Don Aslett is one of America's wealthiest janitors, a sought-after talk show guest, and a hero to homemakers all across America.
It's a neat business. You know, there's 7 million janitors and cleaners in this world, and 50 million housewives that clean toilets, and it's a real world. And so we just said, here's a way to do it easier and faster and better.
Don's know-how comes from more than 25 years of on-the-job experience. He took his first job cleaning neighborhood houses while studying business at Idaho State. As word spread of his inventive and efficient ways of cleaning, he hired college friends to keep up with the demand. Today, Don is president of Varsity Contractors Incorporated, a multi-million-dollar business that encompasses 14 states. He's compiled his house cleaning principles in a book titled, Is There Life After Housework? And his nationwide seminars have captured the attention of 60,000 homemakers. He may be a company executive and a millionaire, but the title he's most fond of and proud of is janitor.
That's one bad thing about getting in management. They tell me I can't afford to go back and work on a job, but I'd rather go back and clean the toilets and do the windows. It was really great.
Well, I tell you what, we have got a messed up house just waiting for you. Do you think you could show us some tips?
No, any type, any size, anywhere. I've cleaned them from reservations to Alaska to Hawaii, anywhere you want.
Our first stop, though, is at Mercury Supply Company in Nashville to choose a few important cleaning tools and detergents. Why shop at a janitorial supply house rather than at your supermarket?
Because you can buy things cheaper and they last a lot longer.
One of the most important things you can buy is a vacuum cleaner. This industrial model is light, has a 10-foot cord, and a beater bar that makes your carpet last twice as long. The best part is, it's half the price of a commercial vacuum.
You don't get attachments with these things. You know, people, you know what you do with attachments? You put them in a box and carry them around, the box wears out, right? But buy a good upright. I personally like an upright better. I don't like my work following me around like a dead pig, you know.
You can save hundreds of dollars a year if you stay away from supermarket specials. Aerosol cleaners contain only a few cents worth of cleaner, but cost you a couple of dollars. Don says buy concentrate and save money.
The best thing that people can do is go down and get a 22-ounce or get a spray bottle like this, and you can dilute. Now, for example, Lori, this runs about $7 or $8 a concentrate. This will replace about $150 worth of what you buy in a supermarket.
As far as cleansers go, all you really need are three things: a disinfectant cleaner, a glass cleaner, and an all-purpose cleaner. Each of these containers cost about $8 and will last for a couple of years.
Hey, Lori, another thing that you're going to need is a professional squeegee. These things will cost you about $7 or $8. They'll last you a lifetime. That is a beautiful tool. It's brass. It will speed up your window cleaning about 7 times over.
Two other necessities, according to Don, are a bathroom bowl caddy.
And you'll like that so much you'll take it to church with you. Carry it.
And a doodle bug for scrubbing floors. There you go. Our total bill was just under $300, and that includes the vacuum cleaner. When you consider that several of the tools will last a lifetime, it's not such a bad deal.
Okay, here we go. There, I'm the one with the money, so. Let's go, Don, come on.
On the way to our cleaning job, we found out that Don isn't jet-setting around on his millions. He's a family man who lives on an Idaho farm with his wife and 6 children. And although he finds humor in just about everything, he has some very serious reasons for being a crusader for homemakers.
Everybody has a moral message. And I believe that saving time, I don't like to see people spend their time doing chores. The man is that he might have joy and enjoy, and you can enjoy yourself with when you spend your life doing chores. Shine that chrome. Look at that chrome. home. Just glows. Make your heart throb. It's amazing.
His theme is preventive maintenance. He says that 3.5 minutes a day will keep your bathroom sparkling and free of buildups. Also, keep a squeegee in your shower.
When you finish showering, man, you can take that squeegee, you can go to the shower in about 5 seconds and have all of it off, and then you'll never have to clean it. And besides, there's no greater feeling of freedom in the world than squeegeeing in the nude. Boy, I'll tell you, you'll love that.
To clean the toilet, use a bowl swab to empty the water. Then use some of your disinfectant concentrate. The stains will come right off. His way takes 1/10 of the cleaner and 1/10 of the time.
Oh, here's a good one. The kitchen, you know that stuff on top of your refrigerator, that grease? That's all over your kitchen floor. And it's embedded in. And you know that design on there? That's really mashed in grapes and Cheerios. That's not a design, you know.
That's why you use a doodle bug, not a mop. It has a rougher texture and can really work with your cleanser to dissolve dirt and grease fast. Don guarantees that if you follow the instructions in his book, you can cut your house cleaning time by 75% and do more of the things in life you want to do. And that's really what he considers his mission in life, to give others a chance at more personal freedom.
I can pick up a vacuum cleaner, for example, and put on a demonstration on stage. It can keep people in hysterics for 30 minutes and just talking with a vacuum cleaner, but it also teaches, and people relate it. They relate it to life-changing and to save them time. And anytime you can save people time, Lori, of course, that's the ultimate of accomplishment joy, is to feel that you've changed, even, you like to say, even one life.
Don has conducted seminars with over 70,000 homemakers, and he asked them what their favorite and least favorite chores were. Now, their favorite chore, right up there with hiring a maid and turning on the dishwasher, was vacuuming. And their least favorite? Well, cleaning the bathroom was right at the bottom of the list, and next to that were windows and ovens. Next up, Steve and I'll be back with more PM Magazine.
There's a verse in the New Testament which says, "What we sow, also shall we reap." Well, for 20 years in this country, government sowed high spending, high taxes, and high inflation. It wasn't partisan. Both Democrats and Republicans did it. Now, we've succeeded in bringing high inflation and most of its causes under control. But we're still reaping the terrible pain of people out of work. My job in the Senate isn't done until every Minnesotan who wants a job can get one. That's why I need your support.
When winter comes, the wind blows hard. Your hard-earned heat can end up in the yard without Stanley weatherproofing. Stanley seals windows, doors, top to bottom. Just the right seal for spots you've forgotten. Plugs for plugs, a wrap on the pipes, the heater, a blanket. What could be neater? For shutting out drafts, sealing odd shapes. Stanley makes the job easy, gets it done right. Because Stanley seals the whole house. Seals it up tight.
Rebates up to $5 from Stanley, Knox Lumber, Coast to Coast Lumber.
Knife, chisel, jackhammer.
Jackhammer?
Getting rid of hard water deposits is a tough operation.
Wait. Use Lime-A-Way.
Another cleanser? We've tried all kinds.
But Lime-A-Way was developed specifically to cut through and remove the lime, scale, and rust deposits left by hard water.
Hey, it wipes right off.
Hard water deposits? Don't scrub all day. Use Lime-A-Way.
In the land of Dairy Queen, we treat you right.
Come to where hot fudge falls thick and rich. Peanuts are fresh and crunchy, and all is cool and creamy.
Come discover the one place where good taste comes through.
Discover the Dairy Queen Peanut Buster Parfait.
In the land of Dairy Queen, we treat you right.
Well, I'll tell you, Pat, you can feel the enthusiasm, the energy of the students getting ready for the big game coming up this weekend.
It's a big one, isn't it?
It
Against
is.
Iowa, they tell me. Now, I'm new here, but I know this is a big, big rivalry, and if you want to come and see the game, well,
Forget it.
They say the tickets have been sold out for a long time.
And everyone remembers where we went down to their turf last year and beat the Hawkeyes down in Iowa, and they went to the Rose Bowl, huh?
Oh, well, go Gophers.
All right, what about tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night on PM Magazine, we'll meet the man who makes fantasy customized cars for stars. It's the ultimate in luxury, but it doesn't come cheap.
Then we'll discover the newest and most fascinating Olympic sport. Athletes actually dance in the water.
That's all on tomorrow night's PM Magazine.
And we'd love to have your company. Please join us.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Tonight, follow Frank Buck as he swings into action on Bring 'em Back Alive, next on Channel 4.
Who keeps plumbers plumbing in Nebraska? Who keeps paper hangers hanging in St. Paul? Who sells candy bars and motor cars and movie stars and mason jars? Bell System Yellow Pages, we sure do it all. Who keeps decorators busy up in Fargo, huh? Who keeps travel agents moving folks around? Who sells pickup trucks in Aberdeen and hockey bucks in Muscatine? The Bell System Yellow Pages, and we mean business in your town.
The foundation of your home. It holds your house up, but it does very little to hold heat in during the winter. In fact, a lot of expensive heat might be escaping right out from under you. See that red area? That's heat loss through your foundation, up to 22% of all the heat you pay for. You can cut that heating loss simply by adding attractive insulated siding to the foundation. Find out how. Call Ask NSP and ask to hear tape number 1026.
At WCCO Television, we don't think a sportscaster should be a cheerleader for the home team. A sportscast should be like any other good piece of journalism. It should dig deep and hit hard. Now, from now on, you'll see a new kind of sports coverage on the 10 p.m. report. One that brings to sports the kind of insight and excitement that sports deserve. Join us for the new 10 p.m. report on WCCO Television, news for thinking people.
WCCO Television, Minneapolis, St. Paul.